This episode of the What's Happening Delco podcast is brought to you by Delco Meets for Business. Check us out on Meetup at Delco Meets, the number 4 business. Register and attend one of our incredible networking meetings. We meet the 1st through the 4th Tuesday at the Upper Crest Restaurant in Newtown Square. We meet the 1st through the 4th Thursday at the Brick House in Ridley Park. We look forward to seeing you there. What's happening, Delco? I'm Rich Shane, and welcome to the What's Happening Delco podcast. Today I'm joined by Vincent James and Joann Pierdomenico of Keep Music Alive. Vincent and Joann, welcome to the podcast.
Thank you. We're so excited to be here.
I feel like we're we're doing the morning zoo today. I think that's what we're doing.
It's the musical Twilight Zone, Rich.
Keep Music Alive. What is that?
So Keep Music Alive, we are a national nonprofit, which means we're a 501c3. And what we do is we promote the value of music for our happiness, for education, for all really many different types of things. And part of how we do that is through one of our local initiatives, which is a musical instrument petting zoo. And a lot of people were like, well, what's that? So a musical instrument petting zoo is likened to a Please Touch museum for musical instruments, where everyone can touch and play all the musical instruments. And we usually have over 50 different types of instruments that people can try. And with these instrument petting zoos, we do everything from daycares and preschools to libraries to senior centers. We do festivals, outdoor festivals. We do community events. And annually, we go up to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in Cleveland and do one for them as well as part of their annual Fam Jam.
That sounds exciting.
It is.
To be amongst those legends at the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, and you don't know who's going to be that new legend that you could help create just by touching a musical instrument.
Right. And so the reason why we do the musical instrument petting zoos is to give both children and adults the opportunity to play around with instruments, to see what, catches their fancy, and hopefully inspires them to want to learn to play a musical instrument.
How did all this get started for the both of you?
It's a long story. I'm going to give you the short story. Right? So 11 years ago, I was listening to a teleseminar. Remember those? Remember those teleseminars?
Yes.
About how everyone has a book inside them they need to write. And honestly, I never thought I would write a book. I had 2 careers. I had engineering on the side. No, engineering, putting food on the table. Music on the side. Didn't consider myself an expert in either one. But listening to that broadcast, I'm like, well, what about a book of inspirational stories of how music impacted people's lives? I got all excited, ran up to Joann, told her the idea, and that birthed the 88 Ways Music Can Change Your Life book series, and where we got stories from all around the world from musicians and some non-musicians of how music impacted and inspired their lives, and some really heartfelt stories. And we donated.
Some will make you laugh, some will make you cry.
Right, we donated the proceeds to different music education nonprofits. And that's kind of where this all started. We didn't intend to start a nonprofit. We didn't intend to keep music alive, all the things that we do. But out of this, we were reading their stories, and we got inspired. There should be a week every year where musicians offer a free lesson to a friend or a family member or somebody to get them started. So we started something called Teach Music Week.
And it started out as Teach Music America. But I knew that we were going to take it international. So that's when we had to change it to Teach Music Week International.
So this March, this year, 2025 in March, we celebrated the 11th annual Teach Music Week. And we now partner with over 1,200 music schools, stores, and organizations in over a dozen countries to offer a free lesson or class to new students, kids, and adults. So that's kind of how it all started. And then the next year, after the first Teach Music Week, we met a gal who was doing something called Kids Yoga Day. So my creative mind just started going like, Kids Yoga Day. I wonder if there's Kids Music Day, and there wasn't. So we made it up.
Yeah, we jumped on that and we bought the URL like on the spot.
And so now every October, the first Friday in October is Kids Music Day. This year we'll be celebrating the 10th Kids Music Day in October.
That's our big milestone for Kids Music Day.
Yep.
You've written 2 books too. There's a sequel.
That's right. There is a sequel, yes. 88 more ways music can change your life. I'm not sure if we did a third one, I'm not sure what it would call it.
Some of the stories, you said, Joann, you said they were inspirational, make you laugh, make you cry. Did any of those stand out specifically where you say, this one really got to us?
I can, yeah, so...
But we want people to buy the book. But
yes, but this is just one of over 100 stories.
Oh, and by the way, all the proceeds benefit Keep Music Alive.
Yeah, they're now all directed for Keep Music Alive. Mm-hmm. So many of us are familiar with the band Bad Company, and the drummer from Bad Company is Simon Kirk. And Simon sent us a story, and to this day it gets me when I relay the story. So Simon was in the UK several years ago giving a drum clinic, thank you, in a large auditorium. And he has all these different drums around him. He's demonstrating these different drums. So he's over here demonstrating this drum over here, and he hears a clicking sound coming from somewhere. And he's like, I wonder what that is. And then, but he's a professional, doesn't think about it too much. And then he's doing another technique, showing something on the drums. And again, click, 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 click. What is that? And then just throughout the whole session, he keeps hearing this clicking sound. It's starting to actually drive him crazy. Like, I'm doing a percussion thing here on the stage, and where is this clicking sound coming from in this auditorium? It's just making me nuts. So at the very end, the lights go up finally where he can see the whole auditorium. And in the back is a row of wheelchairs, and there's children in the wheelchairs with drumsticks have been playing along with him the whole time. And
they had cerebral palsy. And they were drumming along.
I mean, his heart just dropped out, of his chest. He
jumped off the stage,
ran back to the back of the auditorium, and he knelt down and, held their hands and said, thank you so much for playing with me today. It just meant so much. And just, when I read that, I still tear up.
Mm-hmm.
It really gives you an understanding of, until you actually see it, you don't know. And keep those emotions or those thoughts in check, because you never know the experience you're going to have once you discover and find out, right?
That's right. And you have no idea what others are experiencing, what they're going through, and how they're inputting it into their system. It's just, music is this thing that kind of permeates our whole bodies, and we take it for granted, many of us, all of us, at different times. But music just has these magical effects on us, from our heart, soul, brain, everything. And that's, when we started 10, 11 years ago, I had no idea. I mean, I liked music. I played music. I enjoyed it.
He put out, albums. And
I could give myself goosebumps, listening to songs, But when we started doing this mission with Keep Music Alive, we started digging into the research of, well, what's really happening here? And this is where, we're still peeling lots of layers still to peel back off. But it's just amazing, the effects that music has on us.
You've written books. You've created days, weeks, things that are focused on music. How about this petting zoo? How did all this get started?
So we actually saw something on social media where a music school in Philadelphia was looking for volunteers, and they were called Rock to the Future. And they are an amazing organization. They provide free music lessons, instruments, performance opportunities, after school homework, everything. They've even helped their students to apply for college. They've helped them move into college, and they just have this way about them. But we fell in love with them and their organization. They're amazing people. But they were doing an event at the Camden Aquarium's Children's Garden, and said, for whoever's available, we need volunteers. So I was like, oh, that sounds kind of fun. They were doing a musical instrument petting zoo, and we had never even heard of one. at that point. So we went to volunteer, and they had all kinds of really cool instruments. Like some things, I don't even know what they're called, and I've never seen them since. But they had all kinds of instruments. We had the time of our lives volunteering, introducing children and their families to the world of making music. Now, we didn't start doing it until some years later. They kind of like tapered off and they've stopped doing them. But we love the concept. We were so busy with everything else with Keep Music Alive, but we finally wanted to do something on the local level, because the Teach Music Week and the Kids Music Day, that's national and international, but we wanted to do something where we could impact the families in our area and beyond, but mostly in our area of Delaware County. And so we decided we're going to do it. We started out with half a dozen, maybe 10 instruments.
Do you remember your first?
Yeah.
What was the first instrument?
So the first instrument was the frog. It was
This
actually
frog right
bigger.
here?
No, it was actually bigger.
This is frog number 2. I love these things. These things just, it's something soothing about that sound. I don't know. It's a curiosity.
It's a percussion instrument, so
Yeah.
you can tap it anywhere
Yeah.
to make a beat. And so let's see, where was I going with that? So yeah, we started out with really just like 6 or 10 instruments, and then it just was growing. We received donations of instruments from people. As a matter of fact, I have one of them now. Let's see if I can reach it. It's called an ocean wave drum. So it can make the sound of an ocean wave.
We're putting Rich to sleep.
Where
No, you're mesmerizing me
Exactly.
watching those balls just kind of trace each other around.
Yes.
But that's not the only sound it makes. So it also makes the sound of rain. And it sounds so beautiful when you make the rain sound. And it's also a percussion instrument, but not in the way that you would think of as like you would pound on it like a drum, right?
Joann, this is the first time I'm encouraging my guests to pound on the table. Normally we suggest that's not a good idea.
Right.
But in this case, you're keeping music alive, so
Yes.
drum away.
Yeah, so with the ocean wave drum, basically your whole, around the edges, you take your fingers and tap around the edges. The beads inside give it the sound of a snare drum. There we go. Try this.
Oh yeah, there you go.
So yeah, it's a 3-in-1 instrument.
All right, Vincent, you've got this.
We talked about rain, so I thought maybe it's going to storm
This
out.
looks like a lightning
Does it
thundercloud
look like
thing.
rain?
It does look like rain, as a matter of fact.
Maybe we could have a little bit of...
I bet this does something else too, doesn't it? Oh, that's violent.
Thunder.
Okay.
It's a thunder tube. And
I know there's more, right?
yes,
Oh, wait.
it is a musical instrument. It's a percussion instrument, which means it's something that you can tap, hit, pound. So on the side where the spring is, where the coil is, you can tap it.
I feel like we should be animating the sound or doing the sound for a cartoon here.
Yeah.
See, we get even the frog again, or the crickets, or whatever that is.
Creaky door.
Creaky door. Oh, there you go.
Halloween.
I think what you demonstrate here, and the important thing is, if somebody comes to the table and they pick something up, there's no wrong or right way for any of these musical instruments
Exactly.
to be played. Now, maybe there was a way that was invented, or maybe there was a way that was
we do
appropriate,
it. Yeah.
but somebody goes, wow, I never thought of scraping my fingernails along that spring, and now we get the creaky door.
That's right.
And I'm sure when you do these petting zoos, you get introduced sometimes where somebody will play something in a way that you just didn't expect either, right?
Absolutely.
Children, they have the most creative and inventive minds. They'll use an instrument in a way that we weren't aware. They're just so creative, and it happens all the time. And I'm like, ooh, that's really cool. Show me that again. And of course, they get very excited because they see an adult getting excited over something that they're doing.
Right. We've had kids put egg shakers in the bells.
What's an egg shaker?
It's an egg that you shake and it goes shh.
Okay, that seemed pretty obvious. Thank you. What's fun here is everything is so approachable. But I think it's your personality and it's your energy that makes this even more inviting, that people want to come up and have an experience that you're creating and providing for them. How do people find you? Where do they find you to either come to their school or whatever they're doing for you? Like, I know you do a lot of outdoor craft fairs or outdoor festivals and things. Right. How do they get a hold of you to say, you know what? I either want to make sure I get to you for the first time and see if my kids or even something I can still experience musically. Where do they get all that information?
So they can reach us through keepmusicalive.org, O-R-G, and there's a contact form there, and they can just, write whatever it is that they're interested in. By the way, we also do birthday parties and corporate events. We can do a team building event where we show them some basics of an instrument and then write a song together, which we recently did with the Girl Scouts. As part of their musician's badge, there was different activities that they needed to do to be able to acquire the badge to meet the requirements. And so Vincent had the great idea. He says, you know what? Why don't we write a song to Fly, Eagles, Fly?
We had the girls write new lyrics for Fly, Eagles, Fly.
Okay.
And it was buy cookies, buy.
Buy cookies, buy. And it was so funny. And they came up with this in less than 20 minutes. And it was amazing. So we can do a team building event. We can do the birthday parties. It's whatever space allows and time allows. We're open to just about anything.
To hear about your journey over the last 11 years, for the both of you, what does Keep Music Alive look like 5 years from now in 2030?
For me, it's about us being able to reach more people. So one of the things that we recently started doing in 2024 is providing free after-school music lessons to disadvantaged youth. And we currently provide lessons at the Boys and Girls Club in Chester, Pennsylvania, and also in Chester is the CAT Center, the Creative Arts and Technical Center. And there we've been teaching about a dozen students how to play guitar. And so we want to see that expand, and of course it takes money, right? So, there's grant writing, there's donations. And so as a nonprofit, we can receive donations both of gently used musical instruments or funding to help us cover the cost so that we can bring these lessons and instruments to these children. And these children get to keep their guitar. So we have these dozen children that are learning to play guitar from day one. They had one that they could take home, and they don't bring it back and forth for lessons. We have an extra one for them. So theirs stays home where they can keep it, practice, have fun with it. So for me, it's about being able to expand what we're doing now tenfold, at least tenfold.
Do you see petting zoos leaving Delco and going
we already do.
internationally?
So definitely the petting zoos. I mean, I echo her comments about the after-school music lessons. Definitely want to expand that and also offer different instruments, not just the guitar.
Right.
But for the petting zoos, just to give you an idea, last year we did 120 events.
And that's the both of you.
That's
physically being there basically every third day of the year.
Yeah. Pretty much.
So what we're moving towards, this year we're scaling back just a little bit so we can kind of get our head together and get caught up on other aspects of the nonprofit. But eventually we're going to bring on other folks to help us run some of these events. And I'd like to see us keep music alive in this area doing 200 events a year, but we're not physically doing every event.
Right.
And in addition to that, on our keepmusicalive.org website, we have a community music portal where we're listing community music events happening all over the country. Instrument petting zoos, ukulele, drum and guitar circles, jazz jams, bluegrass
open
jams,
mics.
open mics, any kind of community music making event that's for free that the community can come and make music together. And so we're trying to spread what we're doing. There's so many of those things are happening already all over the country, but in particular with the instrument petting zoos, we're looking to have other folks do it all around the country and have us help promote it. So there's thousands of instrument petting zoos happening every year.
It's inspiring for me to hear the stories, the experiences, who you could create to be just to be exposed, that creation to be exposed to a musical instrument, and then their whole world takes off and opens up. So
It does.
You're both an inspiration. Who motivates and inspires both of you?
I'm going to say my partner, Vincent. He has some fabulous ideas. I do too. But he comes up with some really great ideas, ways to implement them, ways for us to reach more children. And I don't know, he's always been the biggest inspiration for me. He's my favorite person in the world, and I would never want to live without him.
I'm speechless.
You should play a musical instrument then.
From my
Speak through your
deepest
music.
part of my soul.
My inspiration is the music itself and the kids that we connect with. Joann, will echo, I'm sure. When we see the kids that that we're teaching, whether it's the lessons or the instrument petting zoos, whether it's the preschoolers at the preschool events, or the elementary school kids, or the families that come into the different community fairs and festivals that we're at, seeing their eyes light up, the big smiles, they get all excited. Look at Mom, Dad. When can I play this? When can I get this piano? I want to get this guitar or get a guitar, whatever it is. Seeing the impact that we're having and getting them inspired, that's what really inspires me. In addition to Miss Joann.
and also, too,
my lifetime inspiration over here.
part of the reason why we do what we do is because we know of the many benefits that children receive from learning to play an instrument. And we're not out to make, the next famous rock band or pop star, rap star. It's about giving them better chances at succeeding at whatever career path they choose in life, and learning to play a musical instrument helps with that. And you can elaborate on that.
Persistence, discipline, the self-confidence they get from learning to play an instrument, all these soft skills that they learn by learning to play an instrument carry over to every other aspect of their life.
You mentioned donations. Obviously, money helps to be able to impact everybody. It's a necessary thing to do to be able to have and receive donations. Do they go to that same website if somebody wants to make donations?
Yes, keepmusicalive.org, and there's a way that you can support it, either financially, with musical instruments, as a volunteer, because we highly depend on volunteers for the musical instrument petting zoos.
Anybody out there have a tuba, a lightly used tuba? I have said I'd like to learn how to play the tuba. I don't know. It's a fascination, and Vincent's going to give me lessons, I believe, on playing the tuba. But if not, I'll continue to just touch some of these petting zoo instruments and experience my musical world that way. I mean, you have so many things, and I know when Dawn and I go into some place that has these things, like I don't know what that's called, but
Steel tongue drum.
Steel tongue drum.
Because it looks like little tongues, and it's made of
her first thing is don't touch anything. But with you, the first thing is touch everything.
Yes.
And it's so interesting that you bring that up, because so many times parents are telling their kids, you go into a store, put that down, don't touch that. And we're exactly the opposite because of the format that we have. We want them to come in, pick up, touch anything. We'll show the kids how to hold the instrument, how to make the sound. Hence the Please Touch Museum for musical instruments that we kind of refer to.
you're out and about and you're heading to one of your festivals or one of your demonstrations and you have a cheesesteak craving, where are you stopping for cheesesteaks?
For cheesesteaks, I will say Phil and Jim's in Parkside.
Phil and Jim's. Now, you've satisfied that cheesesteak craving. Where are you going for pizza?
Tom's in Aston.
Tom's in Aston. And what do you like on your pizza?
Pepperoni.
It depends on my mood. Sometimes I just want cheese. Every now and then, maybe pepperoni.
Pineapple.
I like a pineapple pizza, no ham, or a veggie pizza.
All right, so you're always getting that half pepperoni and that half whatever the mood.
else.
Whatever the mood.
Pretty much.
Wawa or Royal Farms for your convenience store needs?
Hands down, Wawa.
So whenever we drive by a Royal Farms, we point and say, super salty chicken.
We cannot eat their chicken. It is so laden with salt, so much salt, and I like salt. Trust me, I like salt, but I cannot eat their chicken. It's too salty.
Well, we will stop there occasionally, but not for the chicken.
No, not for the chicken.
How do you describe Delco to somebody who's never been here before or has not heard of Delco before?
It's kind of hard for me because I lived here pretty much my whole life. I mean, I was away in Westchester for about a year until I had a cat that got me kicked out of an apartment. And then when Joann and I first got together, we were in Maple Shade, New Jersey for about a year and a half or so. Other than that, my 50 plus years has been here in Delco. To me, it just means home. It's where we identify being. And it's funny, look back and you wonder, where did this Delco, when did they start calling it Delco? I looked back, I was curious, looked online, and I found a reference in the 60s, where they were referring to, the school district where we were from, or where I was from, and where our kids grew up, was Penn Delco, which started in the 60s. So it's been referred to that for quite a while.
And for me, I'm a Jersey girl. I was born and raised in Jersey. And
Sorry about that.
We moved here.
Dragged her over the bridge.
We moved here about 33 years ago. So I've been in Delco for 33 years. I like to joke around and say I'm a Jersey girl in a Pennsylvania world. And so for me, it's been home for me for the last 33 years. And I think it's a wonderful place to live. And it would be great for anyone who wants to visit. Because there's so many, opportunities for different things, for entertainment, for dining, for activities, for children and adults. So I love Delco.
Well, you opened the door to my next question. You have friends or family coming in from out of town, and you want to give them or take them to that Delco experience. Where are you sending them, or where are you taking them?
Like for meals?
It's your day. However you want to do it.
Okay. Well, I would say for the fun side of it, to go to Nifty 50s in Ridley. And if you want a nicer meal, is Stingers in Swarthmore on the waterfront.
So you guys, you're going out and doing some eating. Are there any other places in Delco that you would send somebody to?
Oh, we go to Wawa a lot.
Tom Jones in Brookhaven is a staple.
Yes, Tom Jones in Brookhaven.
I imagine you're going to take people out. It's going to be this wonderful eating opportunity, but there's going to be some music somewhere along the way that you're going to intertwine into that experience.
On the table.
Fair enough.
There's the name's escaping me. In media, it's they have opera singers there. Begins with an F. Fellini's. Yes, on State Street. And
they do opera night on Mondays, once a month, right?
Yes.
And my thought, another location is not an eating place, but the Kelly Center in Havertown.
Yeah.
They have great musical events, comedy events, a lot of community events for, whether it's a bluegrass jam, open mic, student showcase from local high school students. It's a really great venue, and it's so cool. On the door, when you come in, the door is the handle is a guitar neck.
Mm-hmm. And they have a lot of cool music decorations inside, and made from instruments.
Yep.
Is there anything we haven't talked about today on the podcast? Anything you want our listeners to know more about you or keep music alive?
I don't know. I think we covered everything.
Yeah, I think we did pretty much from A to Z, Rich. Music is a beautiful thing. We encourage kids and adults. I can't count the times that, parents and grandparents said, I wish I learned to play the piano, guitar, whatever it is. It's never too late. I'll leave you with a quick story. Several years back, I started teaching a young man who didn't start learning to play the guitar until he was 80 years young. And we worked together for 5 years until the pandemic came, and then he didn't want to do the virtual connection. But, we played songs from the 50s, 60s, 70s. We played and sang together. When he went down for the winters to Florida, he brought his guitar and he played for his friends.
In the bar.
And it just beautiful experience. So it's never too late to pick up an instrument and start having some fun with it.
Do you have any events coming up that we can share with our listeners that really people should come out and see you?
Absolutely. So Keep Music Alive is participating in the countywide campaign coming up in May called Delco Gives. This is where the Foundation for Delaware County is encouraging citizens of Delaware County and beyond to contribute to their favorite nonprofit that services families here in Delaware County. And so as part of that, we're going to be hosting the second annual Delco Gives Telethon at the Kelly Center, where for 8 hours we'll have solo and duo performers, bands, many student performers, some professional performers, having lots of fun on stage, raising funds for both Keep Music Alive and the Kelly Center. And we'll even throw back to the old Jerry Lewis telethon days. There will be a phone number you can call to make donations that way as well.
Wasn't that the Tootie line? Or is that something else?
I don't know. I might refer to it as that now, though.
For the both of you, what you mean to Delco and the lives that you impact and the smiles that you put on people's faces are priceless. Thank you for what you do in our community. And I know, Joann, you said, look, you're not looking to make the next rock band or the next, big performer. But I think for the both of you and what you do, it's going to be inevitable. And they're going to look back and they're going to say, I met you at a petting zoo. And I picked up this instrument and I fell in love with music and it connected to me. And my life changed. And that's what you do. You change people's lives. Thank you for being a friend of What's Happening Delco. We can't wait to see you on Delco Gives doing the telethon. Now I know there's another reason why I want to show up with that tuba. So again,
Star Wars Day, May 4th, be there.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for having us,
Thank you
Rich.
for having us.
Hey, it's Rich. Thank you so much for being a listener to the What's Happening Delco podcast. I appreciate you taking the time out of your day to learn more about the people and businesses in our community. I have been a real estate agent for over 25 years, working with first-time home buyers to last-time home sellers. As a listener of the podcast, my gift to you is a complimentary 1-year American Home Shield home warranty. This is for buyers and sellers that I help. If you're looking to move anywhere in the United States, I have you covered with an amazing network of real estate agents. I look forward to hearing from you. My direct line is 215-313-3777, or you can email me at rshaneremax@comcast.net. Oh, by the way, I am never too busy for any of your referrals.